Charles, President of Cascade Policy Institute here in Portland. Before I talk about capital investments, I would like to say I appreciate very much the opening comment you made at the beginning of the hearing regarding allowing testimony to be taken relevant to specific agenda items as they arise. It may be in some cases, such as today, that wasn't a relevant factor, but in those cases where it will be a relevant factor, those people who are concerned about that agenda item will really appreciate being able to speak as you consider that item, so I appreciate that change. What I asked the assistant to pass out is something that's new. It's a June 2010 study from the Mineta Transportation Institute, San Jose State University. This is the executive summary of a 100-page study that, if you're interested, you can find easily on the web. And I just thought that you would appreciate having it for the benefit of the audience behind me. It's entitled From Buses to BRT, Case Studies of Incremental BRT Projects in North America. The BRT stands for Bus Rapid Transit. And the reason I thought it was appropriate to bring to your attention is because at the margin, your next capital project is extremely expensive, now gone from, I believe, $194 million a mile to $199 million a mile for the Milwaukee Light Rail project, while the federal share is apparently going to drop. And for all of these projects, those numbers don't actually have any meaning by themselves. They only have meaning in a comparative context. And elsewhere in the industry, there's been a lot of interest, and a lot of interest by the federal government, in moving incrementally towards bus rapid transit as something that provides many of the same, if not superior, transit benefits at far, far lower cost. And so in this case, I looked at case studies around North America, including Eugene, Oregon. And I've highlighted your copies for a few things. I'll just summarize read one sentence for the benefit of the audience, which is this author's quote: "Bus performance improvement offers quick results at a reasonable public cost. For example, as shown in the case studies, the 26 bus lines of the Los Angeles Metro Rapid Network were implemented far more quickly and for billions of dollars less than the 4 LA rail lines, yet these enhanced buses are serving 78% as many passenger trips as the entire rail system." I think the significance of that statement really needs to be pondered by you as fiduciaries of this system. And on the final page, the Table 1 performance of 5 BRT development experiences, again, I've highlighted some key metrics that I think are worth considering: travel time reduction in percentage terms, route miles of coverage, cost per mile, capital cost, and cost per new daily rider. You can see that the very low-cost LA Metro Rapid BRT system on 3 of the 4 metrics was the best, and was the second best for one of the metrics. When you consider that the very expensive LA Metro Orange Line, which is the full-on BRT with its own right-of-way, has a marginal cost of $16,700 per new daily rider, and yet the cost per mile was only $26 million. You're proposing something that's almost $200 million per mile. So I would suggest that you direct your capital staff to put in 2 more columns here. 1, Milwaukee Light Rail Line as currently planned, and 2, a Milwaukee BRT version that would simply be a skip-stop express bus up McLaughlin over a new Selwood Bridge that accommodates heavy vehicles, which would be built on Multnomah County's dime mostly, not your dime. And then on in Portland. I believe the only way to compare the decisions you have to make about whether to really go forward with this massively expensive light rail project is to say, well, compared with what? Compare with what other cutting-edge capital investments are people making across the country. And these metrics are typical metrics people use. I think with that information, which should be able to be provided by your staff within a few hours, since they've been working on the project for years, that would just really help you do your due diligence about the marginal investment you have to make next at a time when you're cutting service. So I just encourage you to put that on the table as something to investigate in the next 30 to 60 days, and then hopefully it would help inform your decision. Thank you.
Thanks. Questions?